Okay, so we've got Raduk or something. He's from Egypt. He only plays Rapid and Classical. And he's played one game of Blitz in his life on this Lee Chess account. Alright, we'll do some Sicilian stuff. I'm in sort of a love-hate relationship with the Sicilian right now. I have a few different Sicilian flavors that I'm toying with. Okay, so this is an Alapin, which I've also supposedly learned recently. What I learned is when they put their pawn on c3, they can't put their knight on c3. So this move sort of takes advantage of that. Because, like, we're attacking the pawn, and he can't defend it with his knight. That's all the understanding I have about the entirety of the Alapin Sicilian. And I also know that I take that. I don't know why, but I know that I take it. I know that's what you're supposed to do. And then d6. So at this point, I remember some things, but I don't have any actual understanding. But memorization's second best, I guess. Okay, and then I'm supposed to go here. I think I had this position over the board yesterday, like in a casual game. I think I did. Something similar to this, anyway. Yeah, it's probably this. One thing I like to do in the Alapin is they go here, and then I forget that this is a thing, and then I lose my knight. So I'm going to try to not do that this time. I've made that mistake too many times. It seems like maybe my opponent's out of theory here, which I guess is good, since I'm effectively out of theory too. Okay, he backed it on up. That makes sense. I think here is like more common, but don't quote me on that. I mean, we could go for an endgame now. Take and try to get this queen trade. I'm not sure if that's so great. Like, takes, I would think knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes, bishop takes. He's just one step away from playing f4, and then I think this pawn is more strength than weakness. I could take, though, and... you know, if he takes with the knight, he's got an isolated pawn here. Oh wait, if he takes with the knight, can I just take this? No, because there's a threat here. I could pin this knight, try to put more pressure on the center that way. That may make the most sense of all. No, that doesn't make sense, because then that falls for this tactic. Bishop here. I've fallen for that many times too. Take, and then like check, and then the queen can take the bishop. Okay, so don't do that. If I do that, then I can't put the game on YouTube. I know e6 is a thing sometimes. This might be one of those times. I'm revisiting the idea of just trading into this endgame. Maybe it is sort of good. Like, I can try to get my bishop on this diagonal. You know, or here, I don't know. Seems like I shouldn't be too unhappy. Like, I can't really be worse in the endgame, I don't think. I guess let's just go for that. Probably I should have calculated if anything is brewing for white after this. I'm just going to assume that it's not. I think if that happens, my king could just safely go to g8. Any kind of queen check I could just block with the e-pawn. I mean, it wouldn't be the most comfortable, but I would be up a piece, so I think I would take it. I think him taking with the pawn would be what I would most like to see, but I expect he'll take with the knight. I think that's a better move. Yeah, actually, the more I look, the more I think this is just going to be pretty pleasant for me. Because, like, takes, take, I assume bishop takes. Okay. Wow. I think e6 is what needs to be played. And if queen f3, I can just play queen f6. Queen h5 is also an idea. Queen h5 is maybe a little more annoying, because queen h5, queen f6, knight takes h7 could happen. Could it? Perhaps not. No, I think it could. Yeah, okay. That's quite annoying. Another idea I had was knight d5, but I don't know what I'm doing after these moves. I guess e6, if queen h5, can I play g6? Then he goes back to queen f3, and there's no queen f6 anymore. But I could defend with, like, queen c7, something like that. I think this is fine. I mean, I also need to calculate knight takes f7, unfortunately. But I think it's fine. Okay. My opponent really wants to attack me, it seems. That can be stressful to face. But if their attack doesn't work, then I may just end up a pawn in an endgame. And also, this square should be pretty good for my knight one day. I think this is, you know, a lot of times you would look at this and say, oh my god, the bishop's trapped. I think in this case it's not such a big deal, just because this long diagonal is going to be good for the bishop. You know, either that way or this way. Okay, so my plan was queen f6 here. And if we trade queens, I should be a happy camper. I'll be up a pawn. My position will be fine, as far as I can tell. I guess the pawn structure will be a little weird, but maybe I can use the g file to my advantage even. I mean, I should also consider like queen c7. Just defend laterally. Or like bishop check. Oh, you know what? Bishop check in castles is maybe a thing. Then this is going to be, you know, a thing. Bishop check is probably a good move, though. Because if he blocks with the bishop, I can take the knight. Because the bishop will be pinned. And if he blocks with the knight this way, the bishop's interfering. So bishop check pretty much forces knight c3. And then, like, after castles, maybe. At some point, I'm threatening to just take here and then win the pinned piece. So I really like bishop check, now that I saw it was legal. Okay, he blocks with the knight, which I assumed was best. So now I've got to deal with this. I could also just play queen e7, which I was resistant to before because it was blocking the bishop, but now it's not blocking the bishop. Queen e7 looks pretty solid. And yeah, I'm threatening just this. Like, I don't necessarily want to castle yet, because as soon as I castle, then I have to think about h7 forever, you know? And queen e7 also, like there could be some cases where some sacrifice on one of these squares is working, and queen e7 prevents that. So I don't know if I've made enough of a case for queen e7, but I think I'm going to play it. Okay, I've burned a lot of time. The position was complicated, but I mean, I think I'm going to be just up a pawn. And there's still a lot of chance for complication. Like, even this isn't quite as clear-cut as I initially thought because of, like, a3. And if I go back, then there could be some crazy sacrifice to get b4 in. Okay. I mean, this seems really pleasant because I can just take with my knight. I hit the queen. I defend here some more. You know, maybe this square is a thing. I could put my knights on c4. I'm up a pawn still. All of those things seem nice. Like, this knight could even be a useful defender on the king side, possibly. May just go ahead and do that now. Could chop here, but don't really know why. Yeah, let's just defend here. Seems very safe and solid. I wonder if white will try to go crazy. That's just sort of the feeling I get from this player. You know, he doesn't seem to want, you know, a slow strategic game. Possibly I should have thought about this a little bit more, because the queen is somewhat stretched thin, but I think just taking with the king is even fine. He just castles. I'm tempted to do the same. I probably will throw in taking here. Like, this bishop's a little loose, and messing up the pawns could be good. I do give up the bishop here, which is sort of sad. I mean, is this knight really gonna hurt me? Maybe not. Okay, I'll just castle. Now, I mean, I still have some issues to solve. Like, this situation is a little awkward. One thing I didn't think about at all, but moving the knight to g6, defending the queen is actually maybe useful. Because there's no weird, like... I mean, I guess the queen was already... But, you know, there's... I don't know. It's not a bad thing when your pieces are defending each other. That's all I'm saying. Maybe just h6 next. Ask the knight to leave. Try to get on with my life. I can't figure out the riddle of this bishop, because if I try to develop it this way, we're losing a pawn here. This knight can't really go here. Could try to recycle the knight. Anything wrong with that plan? Maybe not. It's a little slow. I mean, I would like to get developing on the road. It doesn't really solve the problem, though. Okay, he did just move the knight, so the knight's gonna come here or here. Probably here. Because then this knight is under some pressure. E5 could be an idea. I was sort of resistant to it because it makes this bishop look imposing. But it does also help this guy Does it though? I mean, it looks like it helps that guy. Does it in fact help the guy? Possibly not. I'd like to go here if I could. Anything going on with A5? I could just come defend this square. Feels so lame. Let's just defend D5, right? Get ready for this. This could also be a useful move. I didn't see that that was possible. Definitely didn't expect that. Well, it seems like this is hitting with even more force now, so I think I'm happy to play that. Got to pick up the pace a bit. I'm close to solving my issues. If I can play knight takes bishop, he'll have to take with the queen to protect the knight. Then I can actually play b6 and get going. If he captures and I take with the rook, I'm hitting the knight. This could still be some idea. Anyway, this should be pre-moved. Okay. I'm happy enough to see that. I guess this isn't really hit because the queen is overworked here. So that wasn't quite true what I said. May try for e6 next. Because if I can get the bishop here, get the rook doubled, I will be a happy camper. He's probably going to bring a rook over. This move will be legal. Wow. Intending this, clearly. Maybe here. Just trade some guys. Hmm. Or take the time to do this. Is this gonna hit that hard? I guess it is. Yes, it is. It's not really a threat yet. Okay, let's try to trade. This is one of those moments where this knight defending the queen actually could be relevant. I think I'm going to take with the queen just to gain a tempo. If push, maybe take. Then I could take with the pawn, because the rook wouldn't be loose. Yeah, okay. Let's take that. Let's take that. And I'm gonna go for this. I may have made this work, because now take, the thing's hanging. So I'll have to play knight f8. That's okay. Knight f8, there is no mate. That's what I was taught. Kind of catching up on the clock, like a little bit, you know. It could be worse. It has been worse. It'd be really cool if I could do like this and get the queens traded. Not sure that that's achievable. But it's not like the endgame will be trivial. I mean, I'm only up a pawn, but... Okay. This is certainly tempting. I don't know that it's that good, though. He really wants this. Maybe we should just let him have it. Ah. Time. Okay, rook goes on the open file. How bad could it be? Gotta watch this guy. Maybe here next. Like, this almost pin is almost annoying. Okay. Cannot take. It seems. This could be strong. I think I like it. Could be a little risky. Sometimes you gotta risk it, though. Definitely puts him to the test. I think he's just gonna move his knight. Then the bishop's hit, so probably bishop c6. And if takes, take... This isn't mating me because I can just go back with the queen. He probably... Maybe he'll play knight f3. No, because that... Takes in here. A little unclear. Okay, he did do that. Okay, well, we've got some issues. Okay, let's try this. And this is still hanging, so... At some point, it might be wise to just play h6. Stop this back rank nonsense. I'm probably just taking this next, but rook d8 might also be on the table. Like if the rook moves from d1. I mean, he's got to play here or here, right? Okay, I thought I could just do this. I don't get it. Okay, now I take and the rook is hanging. And the knight. And this. Okay. I guess this? I don't know. Just gotta be a little careful. Okay, I'll defend it. Okay, I don't know. Let's check him again. I don't know. That's not good. That is not good. But I'm magically fine? No, I'm not. I mean, I'm not losing. I don't think. Okay, he hung this. He had to play knight takes bishop. I'm still not having much fun. It's still hard to win. I want to just like get my king up somewhere good. I'm sure I'm not exhibiting the absolute perfect technique here. But perfect is the enemy of good. Let's get rid of that guy. Now my bishop, now this is like solid. Yeah, I didn't think I really cared about that. Why should I care about that? Tell me why I should care. Oh, you gotta love these end game grinds. Okay, like, what happens if I take it? Maybe he meant to play rook c8 and, like, mouse slipped. Because that move would make some sense. The move he made, I don't understand. Don't go here, because I'll win. Okay, he didn't. Good. Now how are you defending your pawn, Mr. Guy? You're not. Exactly. Or, well, I guess you are. Dang. He showed me. He showed me pretty good. Okay, how are you defending this pawn, though? What about that pawn? Give me them pawns. He might check me once. It's okay, I've been checked before. Not really a problem. Man, he's still playing. I thought he'd resign here. Okay, now, I mean, now he'll resign. Come on, you gotta resign now. I mean, come on. So, even if I make this illegal move, I win. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so it wasn't a perfect game, but I mean, I think I dodged all the bullets. I mean, I sort of fell for that tactic at the end, like when he had like rook takes knight on the back rank. That was a nice tactic, but I maintained my composure, and he blundered like the next turn. So yeah, I was even still winning when that happened. So says the computer. It's pulling up the graph now, and I see the little blip. So that was definitely when that. Oh wait, there was an earlier blip. Maybe that was it. I guess we'll just have to start from the beginning. So, yeah, I'm bad at remembering, like, what black is supposed to, or what white's supposed to do. But yeah, I knew up to here, and I felt pretty good. Yeah, bishop b5 is the most common. Bishop b3 is actually scoring more wins for both sides. Bishop b5 is more drawish at the top level. D takes is correct according to the masters. D5 also scores pretty well. D5 didn't occur to me for 1 second. Yeah, and then this is just a blunder, it says. It was a very interesting move though, because I had to defend pretty accurately. And like for the next couple moves it says I just had a big advantage, but then I gave it all back, so let's bring in the computer. E6 is actually the only good move. E6 is winning for black, it says, minus 2.6. I guess at this level, that's sort of on the cusp of winning, but yeah, E6 is minus 2.5. All other moves are +1 or better for white. So like knight d5 is the second best move, which I saw was legal. But e6 does two important things, because it stops this immediate threat, but it also prepares to answer these follow-up moves by bringing the queen. At least that was my thought. So he played queen f3, which yeah. Oh, it wants to just play f. I never thought about f6, to be honest. So I didn't actually have the best plans here. Like, it doesn't even really like bishop b4 check. It says I should just play f6. Okay. So the idea with f6, yeah, I never even considered it, but now that I see it, it makes so much sense. Is we're attacking the knight, so probably he should move it. And it looks like, you know, this is attacked more than it's defended, but I think black has tactics, so after this it looks like there's a fork here. And not only are we forking this and this, but we're also forking this and this and this. So it doesn't seem like the white queen is going to find a move that defends all that stuff. So then black would be doing pretty well. f6 never occurred to me. I guess I watched too much Ben Feingold. I kind of only considered queen c7, queen f3, and bishop b4 check. Bishop b4 check is the second best move. It doesn't seem to like this. It takes here. I thought I literally didn't care. I was just going to take with my knight. And then it says queen e2, and white is maybe surviving. Okay, I don't super understand that, but whatever you say, computer. I don't know why black's not killing it there. Okay, now we need to learn from my mistakes, because after he played this, I played queen e7, which gives away all of the advantage. I mean, like, I have to either stop queen takes f7, because that's like checkmate, or I have to play a check, so like bishop c3. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's queen f6 here, or f6 here. Yeah, it's probably just f6 here, because it's the same kind of problem. Like, I'm attacking the knight, knight takes e6 doesn't work, but I have a second threat here, because now I'm threatening this, which I saw in the game. So I think it's just f6. But I'm conditioned to not look for f6. Curse you, Ben Feingold. Okay. So that could have ended the game in much quicker fashion and saved me a lot of grief. Okay, but I was still, like, always better. It looks like there was one moment where I blundered into equality, but otherwise I was always better, so... It's nice to have games like this where, like, you play one of these guys that just likes to attack, put pressure. And if you don't actually succumb to the pressure, then you just win. I don't know, that feels like a nice, like, sense of accomplishment to me. Okay, the computer wants to go knight c6 instead. I thought the knight might be a useful defensive piece over here. He castled. It does want me to take this, which I totally get. I just kind of was like, well, I mean, my dark square bishop is maybe the more valuable because of pawns on light squares, weakened dark squares, sort of. And I didn't really see a way this knight was going to be that annoying in the near future. Although I guess that knight, I can't remember exactly which knight did what to me, but but like this idea was sort of annoying and here, and you know. So I think I was sort of neutral about this. I mean, it says like castling is sort of okay too. I mean, it gives equal here. Like here it says taking the knight is minus 0.4. At my level, I don't really care about that. Like that's basically nothing. It does suggest h4 for him, which was a plan that I had thought about. But I hadn't really decided like what I was gonna do. Okay, he moved the knight. It doesn't like that. Now it says black has the advantage again. It does want to do a5. That was another idea I considered. Because Because if I can get a4, the bishop can't remain on this diagonal, and then I can get this knight out. That blocks this up, so I can go like b6, bishop b7, and I can get untangled. But I was just a little leery of it. It just felt sort of odd. Like it undefends the knight, and I mean, he could just play h4, and I'm not, or a4 rather, and I'm not sure what was really gained. I mean, I guess I can keep my bishop on b4 there, but okay. I just played rook d8, which isn't so bad, but again, this is one of those where like now it's saying h6 is -2, and this is only -1. Admittedly, I'm not real sure why I didn't play h6. I guess I just felt like I'm defending everything, but h6 is a useful move to have because later in the endgame I had this back rank stuff I had to think about, and yeah, obviously there's just less potential tactic stuff, you know, when that knight's not on g5. So h6 should have probably been like a no-brainer move, but yeah, that move I did think was weird. Knight d5 was good. I took. And yeah, f4 was another one of those moves that's like, okay, my opponent just like really wants to attack. Trading bishops is not the first thought of the computer. It says bishop d7, which I really kind of did want to do. But I thought that he would play f5. And then I was afraid to do this because I thought this pawn was hanging. And the computer just doesn't care about that. In fact, the computer's like, here, have another pawn. Okay, I'm not good enough to get what's going on here. I mean, I can sort of believe that this is greedy, but... Oh, okay, so the queen is actually... It's funny, this queen is tactically defending this rook. Or this knight, whatever this piece is called. Which I noticed sort of in the game, like, in reverse. Because at some point in the game, I was like... Oh yeah, it was when I took here, I thought that I'm threatening the knight. Maybe he thought so too. Maybe that was the whole idea of f4. But I'm not actually threatening the knight because my bishop's hanging in the end. So in this potential position that did not happen, that's why just moving the rook is okay. Because as soon as the queen leaves the sight of the bishop, then this is now winning 2 pieces for the rook. Okay, that's sort of complex to see. I don't super hate that I missed all that. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a reasonable, practical decision just to try to make the game a little easier since I'm down on the clock. And this bishop is sort of problematic in some lines because it could be hanging. Like, my queen is sort of tied down, so... Okay, anyway, yeah, and we just simplified and finally got the bishop out. Yeah, and I was feeling pretty good here. But it seems like I blundered into equality in just a few moves. So I don't know how I did that, but... yeah, I wasn't real sure what to do here. I guess this is another moment where h6 just makes a lot of sense. It prefers rook d8 and rook e8. I thought about all 3 squares, I just couldn't really, like... It was hard to tell which one was the best. So, this isn't, like, terrible, but... Okay, and he went there, which is a blunder, apparently. It doesn't like my move e5. It wants to play h6 again. I don't know why h6 was, like, never a move that I thought of. Until, like, much later in the game. Until it was, like, a tactic. Yeah, this was interesting. Knight df3 was bad. Okay, yeah, and then here's where I messed up. So we gotta learn from my mistakes. Okay, not this one. Not this one. This one. Okay, so I couldn't figure out what was going on here. Because, like, my bishop is hanging. I guess the pawn is not actually threatened. Like, I was worried he was just going to take the pawn on e5 and be better. But maybe he can't, because... Well, actually, why? Because when he takes, he is hitting the bishop again. I was thinking there was some, you know, forking business. No, okay, so if he takes with the knight, we can... No, we can't do that, because this is always happening to us. Ah, okay, I don't know. Like, I'm halfway tempted to just do this, but it looks... I mean, then my bishop's pinned, and... I don't know what's going on. So confused. I mean, don't I have to move my bishop or defend my bishop? And then it feels like he can just take this. Maybe I'd move the bishop. Like, I move the bishop. If he takes this, then f6 is working? No, because he just takes this. Okay, I'm too dumb. What is it, computer? It was that. Wait, but then why can't he take this? Queen c5 check. I saw that was legal. And then it says queen d4. Like, queen d4 seems stupid because that's like letting all this bad stuff happen. So what if the king just moves? Queen c2. Or queen c1. Even harder to see. Those are the two winning moves for black. Okay, that's some deep, deep stuff. Wow. Man, this is so weird. Like, it's saying h3. We can take this? Yeah, because we're defending this. That's the big idea. Wow, queen c2 is nice move. Computers are good at making, you know, good moves. Okay, that's too hard. I'm not too mad about missing that. Now, unfortunately, what I did is now maybe white's a little better. Yeah, I was just sort of trusting that this line wasn't that bad for me. Like, I saw this stuff, and I wanted to believe it wasn't that big of a deal. Yeah, the computer's giving g3, which is kind of cool. Like, just say I'm gonna win this pawn later, or I'm gonna defend my pawn. Yeah, I mean, this has to just be... I guess white is a little better because white's rook's better. We got to solve this back rank issue. So luckily for me, he didn't do that. How long did he think here? He thought for about 20 seconds. I am a bit surprised that this wasn't played. And now he's back to losing. This wasn't even the best move. It wants bishop c6. But I like pins. Okay, this move isn't bad. But then he went there, which is sort of clearly a blunder. I thought either here or rook e1. And like in either case, I think maybe rook d8 is some move, but I hadn't completely figured all that out yet. I mean, it's also hard to argue with just taking this. Yeah, it is giving rook d8. Yeah, because rook d8, then this rook needs defending too. Yeah, actually, there's just no way. There's no way for white to avoid losing material. I don't think. Because if we try to go like here, then we can take this first. And in every line, white's losing something. Like if he takes with the queen, then we can take, and get the rook. And if he takes with the knight, we can take this and get the knight. So there's just no holding on there. So that's not viable. So this is the other move that defends the knight. And I thought again, rook d8, rook e8, knight f4, they all looked good. They're not all good. Oh yeah, actually I guess rook e8's a blunder because of this. Like, I saw that idea in the game, and I was like, well, I always have queen takes f6, but not if my rook's on e8. So rook e8 would be a blunder. It says this is best, -2, and this is like -1. I think I probably would lean towards this because it captures something. I like taking things. Okay, anyway, he just went there, which lost material, and I took the material. Everything seemed pretty good. Okay, it wanted something different here. It wanted to just take this. That's sort of hard to consider. Like, why are we not taking the knight? Like, I just thought it was better to check first and then take the knight. I don't super, like, I don't know. I mean, I wanted the knight gone so that this back rank wasn't an issue anymore. I don't actually remember why I thought this was... this move doesn't make sense to me now. I don't know why I did that. It sort of helps his king move up. It weakens my back rank. I don't know why I wouldn't just take this. But, okay, whatever. I certainly don't understand why it's suggesting knight takes f4. Like, why wouldn't we win material when it's offered to us? Oh, the knight's trapped. Oh, that's funny. Okay, now I get it. Because the knight's just trapped. That's pretty funny. Okay, now I understand. Okay, everything was sort of okay. Not perfect. Was knight f8 the best move? It was. And yeah, everything was sort of fine for a while. And then I hung this tactic. That was a nice find. So that makes it only better for black. The more the computer thinks, the more it likes black, though. I mean, yeah, I will give myself props, like, I mean, I guess there's not really anything to do other than play king e7, but, you know, I didn't freak out here. I stopped and calculated and was like, oh yeah, he's winning everything. So king e7 and I'm still much better, probably still winning. And then yeah, I thought he had to take this because I'm threatening this and I'm also threatening that. Although I'm not actually threatening this because of the tactic. So that's why the computer is just giving b3. b3 is kind of a hilarious move to me. Because b3, it just stops this. And then it's like, you still can't take my rook. That's funny. Computer has a good sense of humor sometimes. Okay, luckily for me, he blundered, like, immediately. And it still wasn't the easiest. But eventually, I managed to get my pieces places that I liked. I won some pawns. By the way, here, like, it probably doesn't really matter a ton, but, you know, if he can play a4 and, like, if he can get a passer here, then maybe, you know, his winning chances go up by, like, 5%, so I just figured it was easier to get rid of that possibility, and then he's left with all these weak pawns, so... But yeah, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. He let me take that pawn, and I started putting pressure on all the pawns. I mean, I like the way I did, like, I probably didn't find the quickest wins, but I was just very patient and was primarily concerned with not letting him trick me, and just picking up the pawns one by one ended up being enough. So, Yeah, and then I was surprised he didn't resign here, but but yeah, after this, you know, I mean, the winning plan is just too simple. Like, the white king always has to remain in this area in order to stop the pawn from promoting. So there's just nothing that he can do to stop this plan. So yeah, we just resign. But okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. This ended up being kind of a longer one because the in-game lasted forever. But anyway, like and subscribe and click all the buttons down there, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.